What's up guys, Matt here from Chunky's Reviews. I am finally here with my review of Uncharted 4 guys. It is finally here after 4 long years of waiting. I've finally played it, I've played through the multiplayer, I've played through everything this game has to offer, and I'm going to hand up my review to you guys now. Alrighty, so I'm going to separate this review into 3 parts. I'm going to cover story, gameplay, and just overall fun factor. First up, story. From a story point of view, Naughty Dog has always excelled. They haven't made particularly special stories, but they have made entertaining stories. Now, from Uncharted 1, which was very simple in nature, very simplistic, there's a treasure, let's go for it. Going to Uncharted 4, it has evolved immensely. Now, this is over 9 years, mind you, but it's great to see that the Uncharted story has in fact matured. And that is the best part about the story, and that is the biggest surprise. Now, Uncharted 4 still hits all those same old Uncharted beats. There's a treasure, and Nate's got to go after it. Don't worry, rest assured, it hits those original old-style beats. It's great in that respect. But the newest thing is how much it's matured and how much it takes a stance back from the treasure and how much it focuses on family, responsibility, loss, consequence. And without going into spoilers, that's really all I can say. But trust me on this one, it was a great surprise and it was a much needed change in pace because 2 and 3 were very similar from a story point of view. And not that I got sick of it, but I was expecting some sort of change. And this maturity now in the 4th game is much needed and much welcome. So from a story point of view, I'm telling you now, I think this is the best. I think this has a beautiful kind of pace, and it does slow down in certain parts, but I think that's where it tackles those issues of family and those issues of consequence and responsibility. So you can't really go wrong. I've heard a lot of complaints about the pacing of the game, and while there are some minor complaints with the puzzles, there's a lot of repetitive puzzles towards the end of the game. I think, like I said, when it explores those issues, you're kind of wrapped up in that. You're kind of wrapped up in how deep the conversations get in amongst, characters and just explaining how they feel about what's going on in their lives. And it makes a lot of sense because it's not so much straightforward. It's very complex, and they talk about that instead of just kind of expecting you to just grasp that. So yeah, from a story point of view, I can't really say anything bad about it. I think it's well paced, I think it's well explained, and I think that overall it is the best story in the Uncharted franchise. Secondly, gameplay. So now gameplay is the media part of the section. We're kind of going to include the multiplayer as well. But so from a single player point of view, the gameplay is pretty much top notch. It's what you expect from Uncharted. The shooting is very similar, the traversal is very similar, but it's had some much needed tweaks. Now the aiming and shooting is absolutely improved, 100%. Guns feel much heftier and the aiming system is much more versatile. It doesn't feel as stiff. Shooting doesn't feel as robotic, if that's a way to describe it, which is good. I mean, Uncharted 2 and 3, even 1 in that respect, kind of copped a bit of flack for the enemies being real bullet sponges. It doesn't take 10 or 15 bullets to really put these guys down anymore, which is a great thing. It feels more realistic, and if you put some well-placed shots to the upper chest, to the head, they are going bye-bye. As well as that, the game adds some new features, like a new climbing system where you use the analog stick to reach anywhere on a wall, and it's very, very precise, and it allows you to traverse different areas of a map. And that's the other thing. The areas of the game are much wider now. So in certain set pieces, the game is still linear. In certain areas, this game's still linear, but it has a much wider area in which you can explore. So it makes you feel like much more of an explorer in that sense. It makes you feel like you can go your own path and find your own way to a specific objective. Along with those wider sections, the game also gives you 2 new elements. The grappling hook and the vehicle sections. Now, firstly, the grappling hook, fantastic. It allows for much more vertical traversal, and it's great in set pieces. Trust me, it makes for some really awesome shit. Secondly, the vehicle sections. Now, the vehicles handle quite well. I don't think they're much of a... they don't get in the way of much. They're not overly long, but while they last, they're great. The vehicles do feel like a character, and they control very nicely. The forward driving sections are really cool. Now, from a single player point of view, you can't go wrong. The gameplay is very much the same with added vehicle sections and the grappling hook and an improved gunplay. From a set piece point of view, guys, I'm here to say there are less in this game. Probably the least of the Uncharted series. But don't take it to heart. While there are less, they are much more extended. They are much crazier. They're much more frenetic, which is great because they hold this high production value and they look awesome and they play awesome. You really feel like you're in this scene. You really feel like you're taking part in it, like a pure action cinematic experience. I'm telling you guys, a couple of the set pieces in this game, I was just amazed. I was literally yelling at the screen, probably from the start of the game, which is amazing. Trust me, set pieces, while there are less, don't get scared. They're the best in the series, which is great. Now, I'm also going to include multiplayer in this one. In the gameplay section, multiplayer is very similar to Uncharted 2 and 3. So if you enjoyed it then, you're going to enjoy it here. However, if you're a newcomer, I'd say give it a try. It's still good. It has, it has a high quality. It's very different from the other multiplayer shooters that are out there. While it's third person, it does change up the pace a little bit. It's different to all those first person shooters that you're used to playing. Now, while it is similar to Uncharted 2 and 3, there are much needed improvements. The gunplay from the single player aspect is here, and it's better than ever. So it feels much better when you're shooting. Now, the newest elements added to this multiplayer mode are the mysticals and the customization options. So customization was present in 2 and 3, but it's actually extended here. There's much more to do. There's much more to customize. And it's great. Can't go wrong. Weapon skins, skins for characters, gun customization, it's all there. And as well as that, the mysticals are probably the newest item to the game. They add just a perk system, so they allow, they're kind of the supernatural elements from the game, and they're added here as power-ups. So, healing power-ups and damage power-ups, things that you can throw, stuff like that. I won't really go into what they are. I kind of like people to experience that for themselves instead of going in and just spoiling everything, telling everything what everyone does. It's great to experiment and have your own experience with that. So yeah, while the mysticals are new, they are fun, and I think they're a welcome addition. Now, fun factor. Finally, wrapping things up, this is, in my opinion, the best game in the Uncharted series. But like I said, that's up to interpretation. You can enjoy any one of those games that you'd like. Personally, before I finished this, I was still enjoying Uncharted 2 up until a fair way through this. It was really the ending that tied things up for me and made me feel like this was the best Uncharted. But that's fair enough. Like I said, guys, give this a playthrough. From a fun factor point of view, it is absolutely a blast. I enjoyed every minute of this game. I enjoyed it when the pace was full blast. I enjoyed it when the pace slowed down. I enjoyed every puzzle. I enjoyed every bit of dialogue. I enjoyed everything that this game has to offer. So I won't really give games a rating. I'm just going to kind of give you a summarizing sentence just to give you an impression of how I felt, because I think rating systems, people get too tied up in numbers and it just gets really confusing for other people. One person gives it an 8, one person gives it a 9, one person gives it a 7, and everyone just loses their friggin' minds. So I'll give you this. From a developer's point of view, Naughty Dog, you guys have made an absolute masterpiece. I don't think anyone's going to deny that. I think this game is the pinnacle of action games. I think it is the best looking game on PS4, and I didn't really talk about graphics because Naughty Dog always sets that standard when it comes to new release games. I think they hold the bar as far as graphics, but everything else in this game, this is a masterpiece. If you love movies and games like Indiana Jones and Tomb Raider, you got to pick this one up. If you like anything action-based, if you like the action genre, if you like the shooting genre, pick this one up. I can't see much reason not to, guys. This is one of the best games I've played in absolutely, I can't remember how long. I think this is one of the best games of all time that I've played. And yeah, I don't see much else really toppling this in the future. I think while this lasts, guys, go out and get it. Go play it. Go enjoy it. There's not much that you can't like here. So yeah, guys, once again, thank you very much for waiting for this review. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope it gives you a good indicator of what to do in the future, what to do, what to buy. But yeah, thank you very much, guys. I'll be back soon with my review of Doom, which should be up by the end of the week. Thanks for watching, guys. Much appreciated. I'll be back soon on Chunky Reviews.